Hi again, everyone. I am the Cantankerous Collector. This is episode number 134. My eBay store is Death by Buffalo. Death by Buffalo. I sell a lot of pop culture and comic book related stuff, so check it out when you get a chance. So, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws this year, and they've released a lot of Jaws stuff for collectors like myself. And I've picked up several items over the last couple of months, and I thought I would show some of them because I think if you're a Jaws collector, some of these are worth picking up. So to start, I've been collecting Hallmark um, ornaments since probably the 90s, mainly the comic book related stuff, the classic comic characters, not the newer stuff. I like all the old classic designs. But they've done a really nice job over the years with different themed collectibles for their ornament line. And they released two Jaws items in prior years. They released the shark with the barrels, which was really cool. And they also did the shark's, the head breaching from the water. And it's funny because they usually list what they're going to be producing several months before their July release date. And I'm usually in tune with that to see what's coming out. This year I didn't. And I didn't check their line of ornaments until the weekend that they came out. And sure enough, they did a Jaws one. They did the Amity billboard. And this is pretty cool. Was a good idea. And I think they did a really good job on this. It's a nice miniature sculpture of the Amity Island billboard. It doesn't match the original artwork exactly. In fact, I've never seen any Jaws billboard item actually match the original art. It's always somewhat different. And the girl, the splashing, it never matches the original. But that could be kind of nitpicky, so I won't go there. Well, actually, I just did. Now they did this lenticular. And so if you tilt this ornament, then the lenticular effect kicks in and you'll see the original billboard with the girl smiling. And there's still some semblance of the shark fin here because it's a solid black and it just doesn't disappear like you'd want it to. The effect here just doesn't work perfectly. I don't know what it is with lenticular items and stuff. I've got a bunch of them in my collection, and sometimes they work better than others. But in this case, the girl's face transforms really well here. It lenticulates, if that's the proper word. And it's a nice little collectible for the 50th anniversary. What's also cool is the back has the Jaws 50th anniversary logo, and it's three-dimensional. And this is the first time I've ever seen the Jaws 50th anniversary logo in three dimension. And the shark raises up. It pops up from the number 50. It's cool. Yeah, boy. I got out my Mattel Hot Wheels Amity police truck that was released a few years ago. And the scale isn't too bad here. It's not bad at all. Brody, sick vandalism. That is a deliberate mutilation of a public service message. Now I want those little paint-happy bastards caught and hung up by their Buster Browns. I'm sure a lot of Jaws fans are going to be happy with it. Also with Hallmark, I noticed too that they did a Discovery Shark Week Great White Shark ornament, which is pretty cool also. If you're a Jaws fan like me and you saw Jaws as a kid, you probably like sharks too, like I do. I don't think I've seen Discovery Channel's Shark Week in at least a decade. I don't get cable or a dish signal anymore. I'm just tired of paying for all that. I'd rather put that money towards collectibles. So, but anyways, they did a really cool job on this shark. The logo in the mouth looks really cool. I did have an issue with the tail is kind of weird, and I don't know if they base this on a real shark or not, but they put this white paint on the bottom part of the tail. And I thought that looked really strange. And then the other side of the tail looks even worse with the white spotting. It's common for a shark's tail to have white spotting on it, but the way they did this, it just looks like a really poor paint job. I don't know who made the decision to do this, but yuck. And so I actually brought this back in to Hallmark, and I said, I don't know, I think I may have gotten a bad one, but they opened up another one and it's the same. So the paint ops are the same on all these. I just thought it was weird, but who knows? This could be based on an actual original shark that they've tagged or whatever. Maybe not. But the sculpture is really cool, and I think it just needs a new paint job. I've also picked up this item, which I think is really cool. This is a real boss Jaws collectible. This was made by Fanatics in the UK. They do a lot of pop culture stuff. I have a video that I did a couple years ago. They produced a mini Frankenstein poster that was really cool. It was real boss, and I did a review of that. But this here is a metal magnetic bottle opener, and I mean, I think this is boss. This is real cool. Shaped as the rising Leviathan with the Castell art on the card. This is a really cool idea. I mean, go get your Jaws pops or your Jaws Hello Kitty backpack. But this stuff is where it's at, man. This is a real cool Jaws collectible. So that's that. Something else I found interesting. So I was going through some of these magazines that I was going to be putting up on eBay, and I came across a stack of these magazines, a Dynamite magazine. These were pop culture magazines that ran from, I believe, 1974, I think, through the 90s. Now, I went to a small parochial school in the 70s for grade school, and we used to have this school scholastic program or something where they would pass out catalogs, and then you would select what books you'd like to order, magazines. And of course, you had to pay for them and stuff. And my mom, God bless her, she always bought the books I wanted because she said as long as you read them. And I used to pick up this Dynamite magazine, which was, all about the latest, hottest TV shows or movies and stuff. And uh, here's an article on Houdini, and it always had a two-page spread on comic book characters, which is right down my alley. And it was a fun magazine, a lot of different topics, Space 1999 and stuff. Now these aren't my original copies. My original copies were trashed a long, long time ago. But I bought a partial set of these last year on eBay because I wanted to get a couple of them signed at a convention that was coming to town at the time. And so I got this $6 Million Man issue signed by Lee Majors. And this gorgeous cover. I've always loved this shot of Lindsay Wagner as the Bionic Woman. And so I got these signed for my collection. Yeah, boy. I remember in 1975 as a kid, after Jaws came out, I remember thinking, oh, Dynamite Magazine is going to have to do a Jaws article. And I bet Jaws is on the cover. And I was really anticipating that. I really thought that's a no-brainer. They're going to definitely they're going to do a cover article with Jaws. And they never did, which was crazy to me. It's just amazing that they never did something like that. But as I was looking through these, I noticed that in this issue, The Invisible Man, which was a television series that ran in 1975, the fall of that year, which I don't know if I even saw this. I mean, it was kind of down my alley because I loved all the Universal monsters and stuff, but this only lasted like a season. But I was going through this, and sure enough, this was what we got for Jaws. This was the article we got. The Jaws of Death. No cover or anything. And this wasn't really even focused on the Jaws movie. They mention it in the first paragraph. So you saw Jaws, and now you're so nervous you won't take a bath for fear of sharks swimming down the tap. So it discusses sharks, and at the end, it talks about the mechanical sharks and named Bruce and how they worked. And you get this great photo here, which I haven't seen very often, of Hooper measuring the jaws of the tiger shark. A what? Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. I was really anticipating seeing Jaws on the cover of Dynamite magazine back then. But oh hey, what was the number one song the week that Jaws came out? June 20th, 1975. I'll sing it for you. A love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking girl comes along, singing her song. Don't mess around, you just got to be strong. Just stop, 'cause I really love you. Stop, I've been thinking of you. Look in my heart and let love keep us together. All right. That's not it. That's not it. I'm not ending on song. I've got another really cool item here. This is a Jaws 50th anniversary Martha's Vineyard magazine. I'm assuming this was available for the big event that they had at Martha's Vineyard last month in June. This is a collectible commemorative anniversary edition put out by the Martha's Vineyard Gazette. And this is awesome. I was going through this, and this is really cool. This has got a lot of great photos taken from, people on the island. Even the advertisements have Jaws and shark themes to their design. And it's just a really great magazine. Lots of cool pictures. I haven't read the articles yet, but I will. There's a map of the island and all the different filming locations, and they break it down into cities. This is when Chrissy took her talents to South Beach. The tiger shark dock scene, the billboard scene, Charlie's roast. Let Polly do the printing. I've crewed 3 transpacks. Transplants, give me your hands. You all know me. You know how I earn a living. Give us a kiss. Why? 'Cause I need it. You yell Barracuda, everyone says, huh? What? And talks about the extras and, Jeffrey Voorhees, the Kittner boy, the boys with the fake fin, Jeffrey Kramer. You can still purchase this. It's still available at the Martha's Vineyard Gazette website. It's an awesome magazine. I mean, if you're a real big Jaws fan, I recommend it. It's really cool. Okay, I got one more item here. I just got this in. So the San Diego Comic Con is something I used to go to, back in the '80s, back when they were at the old Hotel San Diego and stuff. And I've been there several years. I haven't been there since got the early aughts, like maybe 2002, 2003. So it's been a long time since I've gone there. But that they have exclusives now. A lot of these companies, they make exclusives. that are only available at the convention. And this is the Mattel Hot Wheels Orca diecast boat. Now, if you couldn't make the convention, Mattel made this available on a specific day at 10 a.m. They even had like a countdown for it over the last month or so. And I was following it, man. I took notes. I'm going to be there. And I was. I logged in at 10 a.m. And there was a maximum order of two only. So you could only get two. And I added two to my basket. And I went to check out. And they gave me this bullshit thing where you're in a queue now and have to wait for 12 minutes. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And so I'm just sitting there waiting for this thing to come down. It got down to 6 minutes. Then it went back up to 12. And I'm like, oh, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not going to get this. But I waited, and it went down. And like the last minute, it seemed like it took forever. So I finally get in. I'm like, oh, wow, maybe I will get two of these. And I scroll down, and I see that the total is zero. The total cost is zero. I'm like, what? And then I scroll down a little more, and it says sold out. I'm like, oh God. And oh God, I get sick of these things. It really kills the fun. I mean, I don't know what the whole idea of making things like this an exclusive, because you really just piss off a lot of people. You really do. I mean, it's just, I realize it generates interest and stuff, but I'm sure there's a lot of Jaws fans that if they knew this existed, they would probably buy it. But anyways, I had to go on eBay and pay triple, what this goes for. And I knew that this isn't actually all that great of an item. It really isn't. The thing about this is the box art is really cool. That's the key here, is the box art. So I pretty much bought this for the box, because the box has got a really cool painting of the orca on it. The box reminds me of those old model kits, that we had back in the day, with the really cool box art on the top, of the airplanes or the military jets or battleships or whatever. The artwork was always real stunning and didn't represent what was inside the box at all. The model kits were never as cool as the box art. And that's kind of the same thing we've got here. But I loved all that artwork back in the day, and all those talented artists that painted this type of packaging art. It was awesome. And this is awesome. You got the Jaws 50th anniversary logo with the shark fin on the sides. It's just a really cool box. Here's the back of the box. It's got a real 70s feel to it. It's just the colors and the design. Now, the actual item is real weak to me. It's just not that great. You do have this fold out artwork that's really cool, but it's got that really hard crease, going through it, and so it's just that kind of. It's hard to be excited about this when you see that big ass crease going through the middle of the artwork. But the actual orca, which is in a water base with the shark breaching, and you've got Brody there chumming it. The orca itself it's just not a real nice, clean, sharp sculpture. It's unlike any standard or classic Hot Wheels diecast car. It's just kind of like a blob. I don't know. It's not all that great. I mean, it's not worth it for me to take this out. I'm going to keep this in the box. And it wasn't worth me buying two of these at the price I paid, because I just don't need to see this. I don't need to take this out. It's mainly the box that's the key here. And so I'm sure people will disagree with me on that, but I don't think this is very good at all. And for the price, and not just the price that I paid for mine, but for the original price of this, they should have included the other two guys. I mean, give us the two other little figures of Hooper and Quint. It doesn't make any sense having Brody there only. Or it looks like this was something that was kind of put together half-assed. I mean, not the design of the box. The box looks cool, but I don't know. It's just I don't think it was engineered and produced very well. And I think there's a chance that they'll re-release this too. Um, Probably not in the same box, but maybe on a card. And maybe the card's going to have the artwork, and that'll be worth picking up too, because of the artwork and stuff. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but maybe we'll see. So, anyways, it's. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with me on this. I know a lot of people are probably happy with this, but it'll make a cool display, you know, in my Jaws case, but it was pretty pricey. So, anyways, happy anniversary, Jaws, and I've got another Jaws episode coming up in probably a month or so. I don't know, and I got some other stuff to show too. So, take care, and I will see you soon.